Hello everybody, Video Game Freak here, and today we are going to be looking at these retro arcade machines that you can find in Walmart and Target, and some of these handheld one-player, like one games on each handheld. And since I got so freaking much of them, we're going to go through them kind of quick. I'm going to take most of my time on the arcade machines because I find those most interesting, and then we'll kind of go through those at the end. Alright, let's get to it. Alright, the first one we got is Centipede. Now these ones, I mostly find them, they're pretty good, honestly. These ones has an arcade, like mini arcade cab that you can just play in your hand. These are pretty good. The screen, on the camera it's going to look worse, but it is pretty good. It works, the joystick does feel nice actually. Fire button feels good. And overall, it does feel really good. You got a sound button down here, which is nice. You can turn it that loud, that's the loudest. Then you turn it off, and you turn it on like medium. Turn on that, then loudest. Which is nice because it gives you a lot of options. Because you don't want this thing blaring at you at all times when you're like in the car and your dad's like, turn that thing off! Yeah, you don't want that always to happen. In the back, it takes 3 AA batteries, and it does have this thing, I think, where you can mount it to a wall. Let me get that in the light. I don't know what these 4 things are. Actually, I think these are where they packed them in the box and had zip ties. Never mind on that. But they have really cool side art that represents the original arcade cab, which I really do like, and they got this and that. It's overall a pretty good quality console. These go for around, I'm going to double check, and the price is right there, but I think they go around 15-20 bucks, which is totally, personally, not that worth it. I either buy these on sale, or I got this one gifted to me for a birthday or Christmas, which is honestly a pretty good gift. And like, yeah, if you go ask your grandma to get you a video game, she's going to be like, here you go. I'm like, okay. But it's not bad. The screen overall does look good. It looks crappy on the camera, but it does look good. And I have one right next to it, which is the same exact style, so we don't have to go through the whole machine. The same exact style. It's Joust, which is, everything's the same. The stick feels great, and it looks great. Oh, I keep hitting pause. I like Joust, but it's not really one of my favorite games. I found this, I think, at Target for like $4. And I was like, okay, they're cool. They are cool to put on your shelf, because you can see that side art, and they look really cool on a shelf. But coming to playing one, unless you really like that arcade game, you're not going to be playing it that often. Next up, we got... Oof, I got so many of these to go through. The screen's a little dirty. We got Burger Time. Now this is made by My Arcade, and these ones are stupid expensive when they came out. I got this on like, I think 75% off, and I think it was 10 bucks. And maybe it was 8 bucks. I'll check the box, it still has a clearance sticker on it. But this one overall, as you can tell, in comparison in size, is a lot bigger. As like that front, like where you can play, is a lot bigger, which for a guy with bigger hands is kind of nice. I really do like the side art. It's got a glossy feel. The front looks exactly like the arcade. And down here to turn it on, it is just one big button, and that lights up. And you got the screen. The screen is really nice in person. It might not look as good on the camera. But you have reset button, start button, then you got your just normal fire button, and you got the salt button, where you can shoot salt at the eggs and the hot dogs coming at you. And you got this D-pad and this, well, it's supposed to be a thumbstick, but you can screw this off and make it as a D-pad. Which, I mean, I guess is a kind of cool idea, but the D-pad kind of sucks. You really just want this on here. But I guess it's a cool option. Overall, the sound is pretty good. It comes out the back, but there's these two, I'll try to catch it in the light, volume buttons, so you can turn it all the way down, and this is the loudest it'll go. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They can go up to 3 notches, which isn't that bad. But yeah, overall, this is a really good system. They just came out so expensive. I think this is my favorite looking one. And it's overall, it is a good system, but because another thing it has that the other ones don't is a headphone jack, which unless you really, really like Burger Time, I don't find that necessary. And another thing that is really cool, it does take 4 AA batteries if you want to use batteries, but it has the option to plug in a 5-volt adapter, which is really cool. If you play close to a wall and you have it plugged in, then it works great. So overall, this does have a lot more features to it, like the headphone jack and the plug-in port if you don't want to use batteries all the time. And I think this one, style-wise, is my favorite. Now, here is the crappy multi-cades, and the arcades that have multiple games on it. Now, I know these are, over this video, is about games that, like, you have one console that can play only one game, like handheld console. But I just decided to throw these in because you can find them all the time, and people buy them thinking they're good, and I'm about to tell you about them. So this is the Multicade 230. It says 230 up there. The overall stick actually does feel not that bad. It kind of feels, I mean, compared to those, not as good. Definitely not. A and B buttons. You got reset, start, and volume all up front, which is kind of nice. You don't really bump into those at all because they're different like style buttons, and it's not as bad. The switch is on the back, which I mean, I guess isn't that bad. Takes I think that's 4 AA batteries. And the speaker's out in the front, which I do like. But it does, yeah, like when it starts up, it starts playing music. And it's really hard to see on camera. There's no way to mess with the brightness. But it's got arcade, which is not arcade games, puzzle, shooting, and sports. And I just want to show you guys one of these games on here real quick. One sec. I had a crappy game in mind, but I just found one that's even crappier. Now, I paid nothing. Like, I paid, I think, like $5 for this thing, and this thing is horrible. There's this game on here. It's going to be hard to see that, but it's called Header, and you're legit. You go left and right, and you catch the soccer balls, and this is the whole game. It sucks so bad. Oh, there we go. It's a little bit better to see. You move left and right, and your buttons do nothing. And I guess you dodge those? I don't know, I just found this one. And there's a sheep noise for some reason for a metal getting thrown at you, which doesn't really make that much sense. But overall, these things retailed. I found this at Family Dollar. They had a bunch of them, and they had a red tag which said $15. It originally said, oh, here's the box. It originally said $25, then it went down to $12.50, and then if Family Dollar has this thing where if you see a red tag and it's been sitting there for a long, long time, like when I went up to these things and touched the top of them, there was a pound of dust on the top, so I was like, okay, I've done this before where if you find something that's been sitting at the store, if you go to Family Dollar a lot and you see this thing, it's just been sitting there on sale and it's not selling, go up to the register and ask how much it is. Even they might say, oh, it says $12.50 on the box and it's $12.50. But if it scans up as a lot cheaper, which this one scanned up around $4 or $5, which is great, I thought, but this thing is a heap of crap. The style art on the side is kind of cool, but the sticker's kind of peeling a little bit, even though I haven't played this thing like at all. But we're just going to hop right into the next one, try to pick up the speed a little bit. Okay, this is the last arcade machine we're going to be going through, is Retro Machine, made by My Arcade, which is the same people that made the Burger Time arcade. And this overall is a lot better than the last one we did. A lot better. But not great. It has the same kind of style on the back. It has the speaker coming from the back, which is, I mean, I guess okay. It takes 4 AA's. The screen I think is the best screen I've seen on the arcade machines. Now, if I record this next to the other one, this screen might look a little brighter, but in person, I think this screen looks the best and the brightest. Now, I haven't really got to see battery life on these because I haven't played them a lot, but they don't go through batteries too much, that I would say. Now, it has a thumbstick, which doesn't feel that bad. It's got a reset, start, and volume button. It has 3 volume selections like the other ones, A and B buttons, which they feel alright. Now, I wanted to show you, one second. I wanted to show you this game on here. There's supposed to be, it says there's 200 games on there, which mostly when you see that, it's going to be a lot of repeated games. But this one doesn't repeat them as much. Sometimes they rebrand them, but I played at least like 30 games on here. Not really played them, just tried them out for a little bit. But this title screen, I think, is my favorite title screen ever. Police dog Lassie. And it's just a picture of a dog, and they just made the colors just flash. That tells you the quality of some of these games on here. There's some actual good ones, like there's like this game called Racing Fighter. It's actually not that bad. You just race around. You press the B button to go. Trying to catch the screen. Sorry, it's a little difficult. Well, it's not coming up good. But you press the B button to go, and you got a gun. Kind of like Spy Hunter. It's pretty much a rip of Spy Hunter. But overall, if you see these ones out for more than $5, really do not pick them up. Especially this one. They're crap. They're tricking parents to say, oh, there's 230 games on here. Wow, that's a great deal for the price, and I'll get that. They're going to love it. Which, I don't blame them for thinking that, but these 230 games, out of them, maybe 2 games are good. So, yeah, do not get these. This one's not as bad, but still do not get them. Now, if you find these for cheap, which these ones usually don't, I only saw them on sale, and they had 2 left, and I saw this one and another one. I got both of them and gave one to my nephew, and these do not go on sale that much, and they're way overpriced. Their starting price is horrible. These you can find pretty average. They don't go for a lot. If you want to pay $10 for your favorite arcade game, like if your favorite game was Joust, I would see you could pick this up. It's not that bad. All right, next we're gonna hop into the other handhelds. All right, we're gonna start out with the weirdest one. Is Operation. I found this in a thrift store dumpster, and this thing was, it did not work at all. I took it apart and fixed it. The inside had a bunch of battery explosion, corrosion. I'd never seen a battery compartment looked so bad. But this thing, I got it back pretty good, clean condition. There was like battery oozing out. When I got it out of the dumpster, I was like, do I want to try to fix this? And I was like, okay, I'll try. And I'm glad I did, because it's really fun. Now, these screens, as you can tell, if you see on that, I forget exactly what the name of these screens are, but it's just, there's a full film layer over there that has all the highlighted things that could happen on the screen. See me pushing down the screen, it highlights them. But it doesn't have a backlight. And, oh, you gotta hit start over here. And you go up. And yeah, it's gonna be hard to see, but there's a bone up there. And if you hit the side, there's actually a little thing right here that vibrates the whole freaking thing a lot. And his nose lights up, just like real Operation. And I'm gonna do it again. This thing in your hand just freaking vibrates. I think it's really funny that it does that. And overall, if you grab the things, and they move around, which makes it kind of harder. It's not a bad one. If you have a car trip and you actually like operation, this is actually really funny and kind of cool. I'm glad I found this one. Once again, these are really cheap. Like I find them at thrift stores all the time for 50 cents a dollar or in the dumpster. This is another one I found in the dumpster that had a bunch of battery juice just flying everywhere. But I really like Simon. My mom had a Simon 2, which is just Simon but bigger. This is the size of my hand. Yeah, I got big hands, but it's pretty small. And it's a game, I don't have batteries in it at the moment, but it's a game where you press it, it lights up once, then it lights up twice in a second, and you gotta get the same row. You probably know what Simon is, but if you don't, it's just a rhythm game where it goes like beep, 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 and you gotta hit beep, beep, and then you gotta do combos, and you gotta do the best memory you can do, and you gotta remember all of them. It gets very difficult when it hits like 15 with me. I actually like, like it's hard. The human brain is only I watched this video. It can remember up to 8 things at once, like good, but after that it just goes south. And after that, things are hard. Now I just wanted to get these out of the way because they freaking suck. If you find, well, let me show you them first. Pocket poker, bicycle jaw poker. Sorry, that might be hard to see, but there's nothing much to see. 2-game slot. This one's actually kind of cool, I guess. It's a slot machine, and there's like little, like, it's, you know what a slot machine looks like. There's 3 bars, and you just hit spin, and it just spins, and you might get lucky. Actually, you lose a lot on this. Even with real gambling and fake gambling, you lose a lot. And you can like put max bet. These are really, like, I found these, I think I found these and another handheld all together for 50 cents at a thrift store, because these probably were sitting there forever. These never sell. I just picked them up because I don't know. I really shouldn't have, because I saw one of the other handhelds, which was actually cool, and then these were just thrown in. So for that price, I was like, what the heck. All right, actual good handhelds, which the operation is good, but this one is called Battleship, and if you ever played Battleship, it is exactly like it. You got a grid board right there, and you have your little ships in the bottom, and it actually is kind of fun. I actually really do enjoy this one. You hit start, and you just place your ships, and then you play Battleship. It's pretty self-explanatory. It's nice because you got a sound button, and you get to keep a high score. And these ones do not, this one does not take triple A's, double A's, or anything. They take like not watch batteries. If you ever opened up a key fob battery, it's those kind of batteries. And they last a long time. I have not had this one die for a long time. Okay, going a little faster. We got Hangman, which I had this one as a kid. And you legit play Hangman on it. You go up, down. There's nothing much to it, but it actually is fun because it throws in a new challenge. That's the other, I have 2 of these. It got thrown in with the other one, and then I realized I already had another one. I got a bunch of these. And I got Yahtzee, which actually, you might be like, what's so fun about that? It actually is kind of fun. You hit roll, and then you have these hold buttons. So let's say you want to hold the first 2. You hit hold, then you hit roll again. It's pretty fun. You can get addicting. I thought this was kind of funny. The Game Boy has, the original model was gray, and then they had like colors with black, blue, green, and they had all different colors. And then they had a clear one. So I thought it was kind of funny how this Yahtzee game got a clear version. It's kind of hard to see in the camera, but this is the black version, just black shell. And this one, you can see the hardware inside, which I think is kind of cool. How it's kind of stupid how it happened like that. Like, they get this and like, oh, Mom, I got to get the clear Yahtzee. Come on. It's clear. I can see what's going on inside. Now, my last kind of crappy one, I mean, it's not really that crappy. I found this one at a yard sale, I think 25 or 50 cents. It's Deal or No Deal. And if you've ever played Deal or No Deal on the DS, which I got this one at clearance at Walmart for $1. Okay, I'm gonna tell you a little story real quick. On Black Friday, I was looking. I went with my brother-in-law and my sister, and they were all looking at Switch games. Well, they didn't have a Switch. They were looking at my brother-in-law was looking at Xbox One. My dad was looking at Switch games, which I did eventually look at Switch games. But the first thing I went to was the clearance bin, and I saw this bad boy for only $1. Originally was $5, which even though was a steal, and I still have it sealed because who wants to play Deal or No Deal Special Edition? I've actually have a loose copy of this, so that's why I'm keeping this one sealed. And I thought that was kind of funny. But back to the handhelds. This one is pretty cool. You have your cases down here, and you got the money up there, and you pick your case, and then you do your money, and you got the banker, and it says your case in the middle. It's not that bad. It's overall like the other ones. Now, technically, I was debating on throwing this one in, was the Game & Watches, which is the only Game & Watch I have. And these are consoles that only play one game, excuse me. And they are really expensive today, and only if you see them cheap, pick them up. These go around like $80 to $100, which is insane just for playing one game. Especially when you can get a Game Boy game that plays like all 8 of them. Not all of them, but like a good selection of them, which is cool. But this, I love the Game & Watch. I got this at a garage sale for 50 cents. And that's crazy. It was crazy. Because I could easily sell this and make $100, but I'm not going to because it's Mario Bros. And look at that. That is freaking amazing. And I always loved Nintendo. But yeah, these are not as bad. They're really expensive though, and you're not going to get as lucky as me and find them for 50 cents. Not saying you won't, but that's really hard to find. And they also sell these little itsy bitsy handhelds that played Game & Watch games. This one is called Mario's Cement Factory. And there you go. And this dude comes down and you gotta get this. It's just a fun little game. So yeah, that's all these freaking handhelds that I have. I have a bunch of these ones, and these arcade cabinets are really cool. And if you do really like that one game, then get them, unless you find them really cheap and you just want to try them out. But that's all I have for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And remember, smile always.